All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is official.
We got a plate.
We have insurance, we have registration. This thing is now legal.
And now we can align it and then go drive it.
So let's do that real quick. We don't need these on to go driving. Unless we want to lose them. To get this thing driving somewhat straight, do the old tape and measure. You want to get a piece of duct tape for me? Or just a roll of duct tape?
Yeah. Here, how about a roll of tape? Does that work?
Yeah. Alright, so we're looking at 60 1/4. And up here,
We have 60.
we have 60. So we've got a bigger, so actually we have some toe
In.
We have some toe in. It just doesn't look like it, does it? Well, check underneath your car, especially when it's big and you can't see. I'm like, what the heck is that noise? Our clogged fuel line that we cleaned out is now clogged again, so got to disconnect this fuel line and try and clean it out some more.
Yeah, so
Now, of course, same way we did before, but unfortunately now we have to do it with
entire tank of
the
gas.
tank of fuel in the way. Yep. So,
Oh, should I go grab the other tank and just pour it back in?
nope. I'm just gonna plug off the line. I don't know how well you can see. Maybe when I hit the drill, I've got our accelerator cable. Our old one, run through the tunnel. It took some work. I actually had to feed it from the back forward because I could only get it about 3 feet in at the front. So I pushed it from the back to the front and I attached the drill and ran it through a couple times, doing the same thing here at the front. Now we'll pull it out and then we're gonna blow it out again. Wow, that's a pretty good wind right there. Yeah, that's what we've come to hopefully get this stock fuel line unclogged and cleaned out. So run some more brake cleaner through this thing. I mean, I figured gasoline would have done a decent job of flushing this thing out, but apparently not. Why don't you go back to the back and see what's coming out of our line into the bucket in the back.
Yeah. Oh, not good.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's what's in there.
So that's what we were pulling through our fuel line.
Into the engine. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's a bit better now. Now it's just air.
Alright, let me get some more brake cleaner in there.
Yeah, there we go. It's a bit cleaner now.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's basically just cleaning the bucket a bit. I mean, there's still some dirt in there. Oh yeah, gosh.
How's it looking?
It's good. Dad, you know what the hole in the fender is really good for?
What's that?
Somewhere to put the camera through.
Awesome.
Cause I can just let that sit there and you can see the bucket. Sorta.
Are we getting fuel?
Yep.
Nice.
Looks like fuel and not like dirt, so that's good. Yeah, we got plenty of gas now. Let's see, let's try not to drain out all of our gas.
Hold on, just leave it there. Sure. I just want to hook up our fuel line again. All right, and let's reattach our fuel pump. All right, let's see how we look now.
I mean, it should run now, huh? Yeah, look at all that
That is some pure
junk.
yuckiness.
Like, when the bucket is full, it just looks like there's an endless void.
It's a black hole.
black hole going straight through the floor.
In here, probably.
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, do we have the parking lot? Boom! It started again. Or not. It started. I mean, there we go. It runs again. Like properly this time. But now there's all this junk in the front. Yeah, we don't really have that. It runs.
She's alive. It's an actual working, operating car. And wow, that front end just sagged a whole lot with us on there, but whatever. Now that we got the fuel line clean, took it for a spin. First through fourth gear, down the main street. No problems. Transmission's a little loud. I don't know if that's because it's solid mounted or if it's because there's something wrong with this transmission, perhaps a worn ring and pinion or something like that. But with that being the case, now we can work on the front end, just trying to get the front end of this mounted more securely. And then I just got some light tabs in. Once I get the front end securely mounted, then we can put some headlight buckets in since I finally got the headlight tabs. So we're going to work on that the next couple days, just try to get the front end of this thing buttoned up and at least looking the part of a Baja Bug, even though it's not going to have turn signals or taillights. We don't even have a rear bumper at this point. Our crate full of bumpers and roll cages and whatnots that we can't ship because they're too large. It's just all piled together and it's a pain in the butt to get all that stuff out. I was lucky that this was one of the bumpers that was up on top when I grabbed this bumper, but let's get to work. I've got a much bigger gap there than I have here. We got 3 1/4 there, and we have 2 inches there. So that makes overall we've got 5 1/4. Half of that would be 2 5/8. So I need to get something that's 2 5/8 of an inch thick to push that hood that far over. Whew. Which is 5/8 of an inch thicker than it is currently. So that's not a horrible amount, but either way, I need to find something that's 2 5/8 inches. Oh. Huh. Those are 2 5/8.
2.
All right, right there.
Boom.
All right, so that is 2 5/8.
That is.
And that is 2 5/8.
Boom. So we need to weld that right out there.
Well, we also have to cut these mounts first, but if nothing else, I want this front end to sit like this overnight.
Or not.
If possible.
Yeah.
Just so that it kind of gets used to this shape.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I can deal with this, and if I go over a bump with it welded, it's not gonna, hopefully.
Alright, that's it.
Stay there!
Just chill out there, dude, if that's okay. Hey, 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 look at that. Our gap across the back's actually pretty close to even now.
Oh yeah, huh?
I might as well come in and cut this to length, and that's that way I can grind these things out. So I've got these 2 brackets here, cut to length, ground down, notched out a little bit so that they can sit on the top of that. And then I can put those under here, like that, and like that. And then I'll take this piece, and I'll run it across the back, like that. And that'll give this hood a place to rest. Eyes is the gateway to the soul, or something like that. And just got empty eyes. Let's give it some eyes. Contact that. Son of a dagnabbit. I knew that was going to happen.
It broke?
Yep.
Gosh darn it.
Well, it's a good thing I have a couple more at work. Alright, never mind the broken glass. I'm not going to bother putting the headlight in on that side. I'll get a measurement left to right. I'm just going to hold this right there.
I mean, it's kind of holding itself on sleeve.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure it doesn't move. 40 inches across. Alright.
So we need to measure 40 inches off of that, huh?
40 inches on this tube should do the trick.
Up, and there goes the camera to your back.
So hold that
Wait,
crossbar
hold it. Oh yeah, up against the tube or what?
against the tab.
Like where? Oh wait, so like this, right?
Hold on, let me get this out. So it's like, I'll show you. Like that.
Oh yeah, yep. That's what I was doing. Oh yeah, there we go.
Alright, are you flush to the end?
It should be all good. Looks good, huh? Got sort of the headlights in, huh?
Just gonna weld this one up and then I'll break that one off and level it out.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. Good now?
Good enough, good enough.
I think some people want those
Alright, now that we've got that, let's get a vertical measurement.
Are we just going to run some of this or what?
3 inches there. And this one's a little bit higher than that one. And then 3 and a
Well,
quarter.
yeah, but you also tighten that one more.
Well, the headlight itself is still sitting in the same position.
Oh, so you measured from the headlight, not the beam?
I measured from the tube.
Oh.
So if I go 3 1/8, I can push that up, and I can try and pull this down. So I need a notch, 1 inch notch, 1 inch notch this way, and then 1.5 inch notch, 1.5 inch notch that way. This is just my notcher, so I can cut notches in tubes. Fancy, huh? And some quick work with the sanding disc on a grinder, and we've got our edges cleaned up. Now I'm going to measure 3 1/8 to right here, and then I'm going to cut these a 1.5 inch hole saw this way, and that way it'll be able to mount on top of the bumper with the appropriate size notch there. Just like that.
Yeah.
2 pieces that are virtually identical. I'll clean these up and then I can set them up in the car. We need to be able to turn the headlights to adjust them up, down, all around. So I need to set them far enough back from the body to be able to do that. And of course, like everything else on this front end, the headlight buckets aren't even to the bumper, so kind of find that happy medium between both of them with the bracket being the same, because make sure that your metal's symmetrical, even if your fiberglass is not. But there we go. I'm going to get a couple more better tacks on those. I'm not going to bother taking off the entire front end, but I want these tacks a little bit stronger than tacks, so. Those headlights ain't going nowhere, especially because there's actually no headlights. At this point, buddy, I think we're ready for a car wash. Oh, this one might be something I really didn't show well in the last video. You can see our support frame for our headlights, a couple of upright tubes, our front end mount. These guys here, the front end actually sits on this, on the bottom lip of the front end. We got a bolt here and a bolt here. I'll show you on the front end what all that looks like.
Oh yeah, plus we still need to finish all welding and all that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of finish welding. This is stuff that we just kind of
tacked it in and then, yeah, just went to the show.
Yep, yep. We just wanted to have some headlights on there to finish those holes in the front end. Over here on the front end, you can see I notched here and here to sit down on that flat horizontal bar. And then our 2 uprights go in here and here. And I got a bolt there and a bolt there to hold the front end in place on the front.
We have a rear bumper because we couldn't really find out a place to put the license plate, and it just looks more complete with a rear bumper.
Yep, picked this thing up out of our pile of products that we can't ship just because they're too large. So we've had this sitting in the back of the warehouse for a couple years now. Knocked some dust off of it, got some bruises and some cuts, but whatever. I don't know if this is going to clear our rear cross member that we have with our EMPI bust-to-bug transmission mount, but I'll clearance that as needed so we can get the lower mounts on. The upper tubes will bolt onto the shock towers, which we still have the shock tower mounting positions. It's not being used right now because we don't have any rear shocks because they're not going to fit on our trailing arms in the stock locations. We'll get to that later.
Wow, it actually looks pretty darn good with the exhaust.
Cut those back just a touch. So these brackets will come around the side, but first things first, front to back. As far as space there, I think that's a good space. I'm going to push that top up a little bit closer. So the length of the bottom is good. It seems to be pretty centered up. Let's notch that right there.
Would it overall just be easier to weld the mounts together?
Not if you need to get it off and on easily enough.
Well, no, like these. Weld this to that. Or is that not easy?
Yeah, but then to get the bumper off, you have to pull off the
transmission
bolts. To clearance that rear mount, it might be easier to unbolt, but I don't know. Let me see what I can do with the grinder. All right, where's the lower hangers? Probably also gonna need the
Jack.
grab the green jack and slide underneath the engine. Well, hi, how's it going? I'm Sam. Nice to meet you. Jack the engine up a little bit. Never mind. It's right where it needs to be. Jack the engine up some more.
It's a bit out. I mean, it should work though, right?
I might have to do some more trimming. Alright, let's try that.
There we go. Now it should fit perfectly. Boom. There we go. Boom. Perfect.
Alright, now we can work on getting the top set in. Is that one only going as far as well?
No, I haven't really gone.
Put that one in there.
And boom.
Here we go. Now we get to line up all 4 points.
And then we can securely bolt them down and then there.
There we go.
Oh, perfect. So that's in, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Get that front one in.
Boom.
Alright, now I've got to drill a hole through here, through this tube, through the other side,
no
through
fun
that.
ones?
Nope, not until we get everything drilled out and whatnot. You look even across the back or no?
I mean, the exhaust is
Exhaust is, yeah. Everything else looks good.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to run with that then. Don't get me wrong, these are not going to be the final bumpers on here, but it's a start.
Because this one looks awesome. It's like the nice cage, you know? I mean, honestly though, the exhaust doesn't stick out too far. Honestly, it looks kind of
There
good
you
how
go.
it sticks out. Right there.
That's the top tubes bolted in place.
That looks better. Well, almost.
And, I mean,
It almost looks like it was meant.
side, right there.
Oh, want me to get
Looks
some
even. Nope, I'm just going to tack it in place and then we'll unbolt the license plate and get it from there. I'm going to turn the welder on. What we'll do there, quickly unbolt this before it melts the plastic. And we'll buzz those guys in place real quick.
Yeah, let's see. There's smoke coming out of the pipe.
Yep. Yeah, bumper seems relatively solid. Did you get all 4 of those bolts on the sides tightened?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, seems decent enough. I want to try to tweak this bumper a little bit on this side.
What you doing? Oh,
Tweaking that bumper up on that side.
got the pipe. Oh, yeah.
Alright. Alright, tighten it down.
Yeah, it's a bit better. I mean, looks level across the exhaust at least.
Yeah, close enough. And you got all 4 of those tight, so there we go.
Oh, bumper.
Well,
Is that still hot?
probably too hot for plate. And with that, this is where we are today. We've got the body off, sitting over there. Got the pan here. We do have our front beam cleaned up. This is a beam off of a shell in the backyard, which I'm just trying to get into a rolling chassis. That's why I've got these spare wheels and tires over here. I've got some parts and pieces to make that shell roll. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot planned. First things first, obviously, we're going to have to get the floor pans out. I've got a bunch of measurements taken off with that.
Plus we have new floor pans under the car.
We've got measurements off of our beam because we are going to widen our beam. We're going to run AC lines through the tunnel as well as a larger fuel injection line through the tunnel in preparation for future plans. And then on the body itself, I'm going to build a roll cage as built into that car as I can, using a tubing bender and a tubing roller. Try to get that thing just absolutely tight and give us as much room on the inside, because there's not a lot of room inside of Bug. They're small cars.
You can sit on one side and touch the other side.
Yeah, yeah. And when you're sitting side by side somebody, like I used to do in a race car with a full cage, you're like tucked in, especially if you have broad shoulders like I do. Which is why I won't ever get back into a Class 11 car, most likely. I don't know. I'm never going to say never, because if you decide to race one, I guess I'll have to sit passenger seat while you drive. But
yeah, I'm going to do that.
We've got a lot of work to do, like I said. And that starts by pulling the body off, which will be probably in the next video. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and remember,
Life's full of good people.
if you can't find one,
Be one.
later guys.